Hello, hello. Think we're think we're going live here finally. Finally, hey, no, I'm actually early. Look at that. I'm a minute early. It doesn't happen. Cool. Just gonna make sure we are going on here. We'll give it a few minutes for everyone to log on. So again, not ignoring you. Just I like to double check and make sure it's working somewhat. All right, we are cool. All right. So anyways, as we're waiting for people to get on, yeah, it's been interesting this week on how this format lays out. Pros and cons, honestly. Some people have commented that they've liked it, that it's all kind of one focus, one day, a lot at you, and kind of take what you want from it. Other people kind of like the other one, where it was like one little nugget each day, but it went on for a month. Kind of lends itself to building more of a community that way, quite frankly, I think, spreading it out that way. But like I said, it was a time crunch, quite honestly. So doing it this way. So I figured some content, some training is better than nothing at all. So I'm hoping you're getting something out of this. Again, go back through, don't just skim over what we're talking about. I know just I may spend 10 minutes on something and they think, oh, it's not that important. No, it's if we're talking about it, it's important. Okay. Something like this, I don't do much fluff, as you probably have seen. I just don't. So I'll kind of give you the meat of what you need to do and what's going to be the value of your facility, and I'll do it. So today is going to be about money, revenue management, however you want to slice it. That's what we're going to get into today. And then tomorrow, it's just going to be kind of a quick little recap. Any Q&As, if you guys have any questions, have them ready, let me know. We'll go from there. And hey, that will be a wrap. Then after that, as far as new trainings, new content, things coming out, we'll see. I'm probably going to be doing a Google My Business training as well. Kind of to spend a bunch of time just going specifically on that. I got some feedback on that from a few people saying that's would be needed. So I'll probably be getting that going. Got some speaking coming up, so that's going to take a few days out. I'm going to SSA's 2 weeks in Vegas. I'm going to be speaking there, and just nice to go and just say hi to everybody and see some old friends. And that's usually what it turns out more into being, is just, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you. All right, see you next year. And then the 25th, 26th is Arizona. They're having a convention. I usually don't do much. Honestly, I don't do much speaking. I'd much rather do this than having to travel and speak for an hour and then travel back, and then all of a sudden there's 3 days gone, So I kind of like this format. I'm doing Arizona because it's going to be a long one. That's 3 hours, and I think another hour for like Q&A or something like that. So anyway, it's gonna be a fun one. That's why I'm doing that one, because it's a quick flight for me, and it'll be a longer session. So kind of doing what we're doing here, but live at the Arizona show. So that's what's kind of coming down the pipe there. Of course, the summit, got some cool announcements coming up on that one. Just wrapped up a 30th speakers. I think I'm cutting it off now. That's enough. Got a lot of great feedback. That were people that were like, I want to be in it, I want to be in it. And fortunately, I'd actually turned quite a few people away lately, just to be like, hey, I got to cut it off now. We're going to do it again, the summit. Let me get this first one done, work the bugs out and make sure it's a lot of work, but make sure that part is done. We'll do another one. So I think I'll be doing some summits, specifically on, hey, revenue management, just do one just on that, and one just on marketing, just on that, and get people. So I'll probably be next, but everything's coming. All right, I think let's just get this started. Make sure I'm still on. All right, cool, I am. All right, let's jump into this here. So for today, Let me make sure I have this pulled up. I do. Okay. Go back and share my screen. I always have to commentate. I'm going to show my screen now. You don't care. All right. There we go. Make sure you can see. Cool. All right. Today, it's all about the money. I try not to overcomplicate things. I'm a simple-minded man, and if I can't understand it, I don't teach it. And if it's too complicated, you're not going to do it. So what's the point, you know? So I speak very and teach very like step one, step two, step three kind of a thing, and just follow, connect the dots, and yeah, money's going to follow. Okay, so that's really what today is about. We can get in all sorts of different theories, and I just I just like to show you what works. Okay, leave it at that. So for today, again, I haven't done this a couple days. Just make sure one more time everyone's aware. Cool. Go to units. There's each day. We're in money right now. Okay, got it. So that's where you want to go to make sure you're pulling what we're talking about right now. Okay. For right now, let's go through it down here. Got your little checklist. All right. We talk about rent raises, we talk about revenue management, and how you want to slice it. It really causes some anxiety from people. And other people are like, ah, cool, it's no problem. I just get both ends of the spectrum when I'm talking to owners, managers, operators, that kind of thing. So I like to keep things simple when I'm talking about this. There's only three ways, okay? You guys are gonna make money in your storage business. And any business, quite frankly. It's three ways. But for storage, it's more rentals. Okay, that's your marketing component. Getting those leads, getting the conversions, it's more rentals. That's how you, hey, imagine that, you're gonna make more money that way. So everything we've talked the last couple of days will, of course, lead to a more rentals factor. Number two, it's increasing the value of each customer. So again, that average lifetime customer value that they're there during that length of stay, you're doing some rate raises for them, and not just being like, I'm going to price match, not raise your rent for 5 years. Ugh, no, I don't get that. It's a month-to-month contract for a reason. Now, again, we're not raising rates every single month. We'll get into that, but there's definitely a format and a strategy to follow when it comes to raising your existing tenants. All right. That's a lot we're going to be focusing on. And then, of course, number three, which we're not going to get into today, this is a whole other aspect, but this is, of course, another way to make money is kind of to save money, and that's lowering your operating expenses. It's going to increase your margins. So I just want to focus mostly on number two for today. But just real quick side note, lowering your operating expenses. This kind of comes back into the audit. Really, but when's the last time you pulled a P&L report, really looked at your bank statement, and really audited? What am I paying for here? Can I get a better deal for the same service? Can I renegotiate what we're paying right now? Just check. And again, don't penny pinch so much that you're actually now hurting your business. And not saying doing that, but just double check on your P&L. When's the last time you really focused on that to see, maybe you can trim a little bit off. That's not gonna affect your business. Maybe you're paying for a service that, I've seen this before. They're just paying for a service and they've just done it for years because, hey, it's on my bill. I just pay it. And they realize, wow, we haven't used that service in like 2 years. Oops. That kind of thing. So I just want to briefly mention that, but we're going to talk mostly about increasing the value of each customer today. Okay. So the methods to increase the value. Let's go down some of these steps here. Number one is kind of a good, better, best model. And frankly, I just like to make it even simpler and just use a good, better, or better, best. Okay, just two of them. But think of it like this: not all units are created equal. Okay, 10 by 10 is not a 10 by 10 all throughout your facility. And it's not. You're kind of setting up yourself price points and building up value and pointing these things out. What I mean is, quite frankly, today's little action item is when you're walking around your facility, hopefully doing it every day, but doing your walkthrough, take special mind this time as you're walking through and be like, what units at my facility I could charge a little bit more of a premium that I could actually build some benefits within. For example, people love having units by the gate. Okay. Personally, I'd rather have it towards the back so I don't have to worry about people driving in and out and I'm getting in someone's way. But perception wise, is people love being by the gate. They think it's more secure, easy access, not driving around. So those few units that are by the gate charge a little bit more of a premium. Now you don't have to like say, I'm raising your rent that you got this unit. You don't have to do that. You can just raise your street rate, your standard rate, whatever you want to call it. So when that unit becomes available, okay, it's already has that premium built in. Okay, you got it. And what do I mean? Like 10, 15%, kind of in that range, premium size unit. So again, kind of by the gate, units by an elevator, that works out well. So people aren't, using the carts and driving, going all the way down, that kind of thing. My elevators are great. Corner access units are fantastic when people have boats and RVs and just trying to pull in that kind of a way. Having those corner units being a little bit more of a premium, fantastic, easy money that way as well. So yeah, look through that as you're going through and just see, what units you can mark, and then just go back on your computer and mark those up, those street rates a little bit more. So it's, already there for you. Okay. That's an easy one. It really is. Takes one walkthrough and you can figure those out and put that in your computer. And okay, put that in for you as well. Okay, increasing your street rates. Okay, this goes right back to day number 1, which was Monday, and that was building that foundation. And we talked about Radius Plus. Hopefully, you guys have gotten your trial and played around with those. But you've seen on there as well. It's has your competition pricing. Okay, and you can go old school if you want. Pull up all online and handwrite it out if you want, and make your own spreadsheet and see where your 10 by 15s are versus your competition. Knock yourself out. Just know that you are in the range of what you're charging versus your competition, okay? And more often than not, I don't care where I'm at, I'm usually the premium, most expensive, okay, in my area, because I know my marketing is going to support it. I know when I get the phone call that my sales script is going to support me charging a little bit higher than everybody else. This all feeds into each other, okay? It all works together. So the way that I structure this is, of course, in your storage software, if it's worth anything, it's going to have some revenue management tools built in, okay? So you don't have to overthink this thing. And the more you can systematize this, the better, okay? You're not going to be leaving money on the table thinking, for example, dynamic pricing. What does dynamic pricing mean? Is basically, in its easiest format, is when you hit a certain percentage of occupancy on a certain size code, not by facility-wise, you're treating each size code as its own little baby, okay? Its own little child is each size code, okay? When that percentage hits a certain percentage, 80, 85%, whatever you like, but I kind of like in that range, that the store software will automatically say, cool, now all available units right now, we're going to bump that up, 5 to 8%, sometimes 10. It's up to you again, play around with it. Main thing is to set it, set these parameters. So when you hit a certain percentage of occupancy in a certain size code, the store software is automatically going to kick in and say, cool, now these units are this much, okay? And you're going to be like, well, what happened? I know what you're kind of thinking sometimes is, what if on a certain smaller size now it's almost the same price, and sometimes it might be more expensive than the size bigger than that because of this dynamic pricing. I get it, but well, you don't have anything available in the other size code. You do have availability in this. This is just simple supply and demand. All right, so don't compare the pricing to other units. Just don't. Just look at occupancy. Look at vacancies. And when you have a certain vacancy or occupancy percentage on a certain size code, this dynamic pricing, these price rates are automatically going up. Okay. I'm not going to go into all the different softwares and how to do this. Just most of them have great tutorials or anything. I imagine this. Actually call and talk to customer service and just ask them real quick, how do I do this? And they'll walk you through it in 30 seconds. Okay. It's very for the most part, most of them are very straightforward on how to do it. You have questions, yeah, call the customer support, tech support, and they can walk you through it. Just tell them exactly what I just wrote down here, bring it up to them, set it, and man, it's so much more beneficial setting it this way than you thinking, oh, I got this. I'll raise it myself. Guarantee you won't. Months will go by and like, oh yeah, I was going to raise those rates on that unit. So, okay, I'll do it now. Well, look at all the rentals you had in that time period that you could have been charging more for that now you lost out. Okay, just set this stuff. It's just makes your life so much easier. The tools are there. Use it. They're there for a reason. I just put on here. It's simple. If you're 100% occupied, you're losing money. I can't tell you how many people still nowadays are still almost hanging their hat on. I'm 100% occupied. I'm doing awesome. Well, you are, but you're also losing money. I would much rather be 85% occupied and making more money, and then having units to rent. That was going to feed my marketing, than being 100% occupied, but yet I'm not charging what I should be, and I'm actually making less money than what I would be at 85% occupied and charging your premium. Get it? So, man, and it's just, you're 100% occupied. What are you doing? You're just sitting there and turning everybody away that calls. You're just waiting for someone to move out, so you have another person to move in one at a time. It just kind of seems like a waste. Okay, it's not very efficient. Trust me, you're leaving money on the table. Just play around with this, and raise your prices. You want to have vacant units. You just do. Okay, having vacant units is healthy. Because if you get that mindset, having some vacant units, now again, you don't want to be 20% occupied, but that 85% range, I love that range. That's a healthy facility. I got units I'm still renting to feed my marketing. That people are calling that when they need it, fantastic. I know I've hit that point where I'm charging a premium for my units, so I'm making much more money than would at 100% occupied. Okay, and just because you want to have that number of 100%, trust me, I don't really care about that percentage. I'd much rather have more money in my bank account. So there you go. I see my bank account like I own any of these. I've been asked that a couple of times. How many do you own? I don't own any of them. I wish I did, quite frankly. Hey, any joint ventures out there? Be on your team. Here you go. Let me know. But no, I don't. I don't own or have a percentage of ownership in anything. It's been come close a couple of times, but just hasn't happened. So I'm kind of a hired gun when it comes to doing these trainings and my third-party management and services and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't have any ownership. It'd be once I do, and it will. Once I do, though, it's going to be. I can utilize all my power for good and really really focus on this on one site or multiple sites. We'll see how it happens, but yeah, it'll come. Just not there yet. But I'm patient. All right, moving on. That was a sidetrack. Increasing the rates of existing customers. Okay, this is a good old-fashioned rent raises. Do this. I just have this. Do this regardless of your occupancy. Okay, I get some guys that are just like, when I hit 80% occupied, because then I'll raise my street rates. Not my street rates. I'll raise my rates for my current customers once I get to that point. Well, why? Okay, because I know what the reason why. They're like, oh, there's going to be some move outs. They're going to get pissed. They're going to be. So I want to make sure I have a higher occupancy so I can make sure I can weather that storm. People move out. They don't move out. Okay, unless you get real crazy. I could tell stories. Well, probably will in a second. People don't move out. Just don't. Look at all the time and effort it's taking to move all their stuff into one unit, move it all there. A little bit of a bump is not going to be like, well, I'm out of here. No, they're going to move out when they need to move out in the first place. A few buck increase is not going to be enough justification to be like, oh, that's it, I'm gone. No, they pretty much need storage when they need it. When they don't need it, they don't need it. It's as simple as that. And what you're doing with rent raises doesn't really have a whole lot of effect on making their decision of, oh, time to go. It just doesn't, okay? And I've done this hundreds of times with storage locations. So lots of storage from owners. So with that kind of stuff. Percentage wise, I was recommending, kind of a 5 to 8% bump, okay? I stole this directly from the REITs. They may have changed a little bit here and there, but they're pretty standard. They're pretty consistent on these kind of structure. It's a 5 to 8% bump 6 months after you move in. So it's based off a move-in date. This is not based off of it's in the middle of summer, it's in the middle of winter, and I'm going to raise everybody. When you raise everybody at once, it's again, you are increasing your factor a little bit of maybe some move outs because you'll see it more because it's just sheer numbers of hitting everybody at once. There might be a couple that do move out because of that, but it's just more work. You're going to get more people that are, it's just a pain, quite honestly, doing everybody at once. I would much rather spread these out based off of move-in date. Okay, so that's why you're always getting a little bit of a bump every single month based off those that meet that criteria of when they moved in. They get a little bit of a rent raise, and then you get a little bit extra that month. I'd much rather do it that way and grow it slowly than boom all at once, and it's just kind of craziness. Okay, so anyway, going back, 5 to 8%, 6 months after you move in, and every 9 months to a year, in that range. Usually, a year is kind of the standard go-to. 5 to 8% bump as well. And then people ask, well, when do you cap it? I mean, I'm charging $100 for a 10 by 10, and now I'm raising these street rates automatically. I don't want to keep it going, have it be like they're paying $200 for a 10 by 10, which I've honestly seen that happen with sites. No, have a cap, and you can, again, this is all in the store software. You can do this, cap it off so they're not paying more than 20% of the current street rate. Now, again, it's all fluctuation. I mean, your street rates are going to be going up, going down. Okay, so some people get in the head of guilty of, I feel like I'm taking advantage of customers. No, it is business. They're long-term customers. They're there. They're consistent. They're your customers. And again, your street rates are going up and down. You can't really control that either because you're meeting the marketplace and you're always kind of pushing your rates. And I kind of build this buffer in at a 20% cap above street rate because that kind of helps offset when I am discounting units for move-in specials and that kind of thing. Okay, that it kind of evens itself out. So that's what I recommend. Again, that's my 2 cents. You can do what you're comfortable with. I've just done this for years, and it's fine. I don't get pushback. I don't get people don't have their little committee of renters being like, "What are you paying? What are you paying? What?" It doesn't happen. Okay, so I mean, honestly, just look at this. Kind of goes back to the dynamic pricing, but the old analogy is like going to a concert or going to on a flight for an airline. The guy next to you, I bet you he paid something different than what you paid. It's just how it goes. It's all back to supply and demand. All right, we should do like a little economics 101 kind of lesson here, but no, it's all supply and demand. Price rates are going to change. They're going to fluctuate. It's just having these systems in place, like what we're showing you here. It's just going to make life so much easier for you. Okay, so please take the time today to go through this. Go in your storage software and just set this up. Okay, coming on time. Okay, got it. Okay, I think we're good the rest of there. Let's move on here. One-stop shop. This would be pretty quick and easy. Basically, look at yourself as the 7-Eleven of storage. Okay, when someone comes there, what do they need? Don't make them have to go around and figure this out. We're going to get into customer insurance, retail sales. Okay, that's truck rentals if you have it. I really want to focus more on tenant insurance, customer insurance, whatever you want to call it. You've seen most REITs, they require this now. I mean, you come in, you're getting insurance. Okay, unless you have proof of insurance, you're signed up for their insurance. You come in with your own proof of insurance, I'll take it off. Cool, but to sign up with, hey, you're on their insurance plan. Now you can build this in the price of your current when you're quoting your prices per unit. Just you quote the price, and that includes tenant insurance up to $2,000 worth of goods. You can do it like that, or you can add it on to your tenant rate. Either way you want to do it in that sales presentation. I usually like to kind of include it in the price. Okay. So just, hey, it's $110 for a 10 by 10. That includes $9 worth of tenant insurance to protect your goods, up to $2,000 of value. So you can do it that way. Okay. And this is not a sales presentation for tenant insurance, but that's what their job is. Just I highly recommend offering this and implementing this kind of program. Twofold. I mean, it's definitely a revenue generator. I mean, let's flat out, it is. Anywhere from like 40 to 50% generally is your commission for selling tenant insurance. So when we go back into the pockets of the self-storage operation. So yeah, it's definitely a revenue generator. There's no getting around that. I'm more of along the lines of just having peace of mind, knowing that I'm covered. Okay, I'm being a benefit to my customer. That hey, you're covered here. You can feel extra safe. Not just that we have the gates, not just that we have the security guards. I'm the great manager here and keep an eye on your goods. But just in case if something crappy happens, you're going to be covered. Okay, just for that own peace of mind, offering this service. I'm going to show you something. This is you may be on here lurking. So if you're on here, hey, what's up? I won't say your name, anything like that, because I don't think you want me to. Hey, if you want to, cool. Let us know. It's you. Hey, tell us. But this happened to a buddy of mine, and anyway, let me just show you. Make this large. This wasn't that long ago. They had a storage fire. It started off as a car fire. The car went boom, and it spread. And as you can see, it spread and it spread, and it went to other cars, and those cars went boom, and it spread. Anyway, this whole row is toast. Literally, it's gone. Okay. Nobody had tenant insurance. Not one had insurance. So, and I'm not here to make anyone feel bad or anything like that. It's just you want to provide this for your tenants for just in case, guys. I mean, that's crap happens,
This is where it all started.
Yeah, it makes me sick watching this. This poor manager having to deal with this aftermath is just I feel so bad for him. Just a headache. But hey, his stuff's not burnt to a crisp. So again, this goes after for revenue. It's fantastic for revenue. It is, but it's more for the peace of mind for yourself and for your tenants. If something ever does happen, God forbid, you have that coverage. You're going to have that help, okay, from the insurance company. So, yeah, makes you sick, doesn't it? Yeah, it's hard. So anyway, watch that. In fact, I think I should have sent that to all the insurance companies. Be like, don't even sell anything. Just show that video. Okay, there you go. Let's sign you up. So it's just so important. All right, guys. There's nothing else more to say there. There's a bunch of I listed here companies. Check out if you're not already using somebody. Fantastic. I personally use Store Smart Insurance because I like their trainings. Quite frankly, they're fantastic as far as training managers and how to sell it and keeping up on it. How are things going? What can we do better? What can we do to assist you? So that's like one little time I'll actually plug somebody. Retail sales, for that, I've never, quite frankly, I'm very honest, I've never been able to really crack that nut as far as having been able to sell a lot of merchandise. I just haven't. I wish I could. I've heard that the Ann Ballards and other guys, people like that talk about how they get such great merchandise. I still struggle with that. I do. I have my anomaly sites where there's like one location that will sell like 3,000 in a month consistently. Like, the crap are you doing this? But it ends up being like they have two or three customers that are always buying their supplies for their own businesses. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes a little more sense. But as a whole kind of thing, it's just hard. It is. But have it there. Again, it's going to come back to one-stop shop mentality. Have everything available. So when people do need their box supplies, and you can do all sorts of things as far as like, here's our package, of small, medium, large boxes, and whatever you don't use, you bring back with your boxes, and we'll buy them back from you. That kind of thing. Fantastic. But just common sense of what people need when they're moving. Okay, your boxing, moving supplies, and I could just go to like Chateau and start, looking around and seeing what you want to get for your display and display it nicely. Don't just have it just stuck in a drawer and be like, oh, here's a lock, some boxes over there. Take the time and effort, and actually have a nice looking merchandise display. It's not that hard with slat wall or a rack or something like that, and making sure everything's there, priced accordingly, and actually has prices on it. Nothing bugs me more. I think I mentioned this before. I've gone to a site and there's no price. There's a merchandise, but there's no prices on anything. Like, no, make it easy for the customer. Don't make them have to ask. All right. And yeah, people around here, if you're watching, listening, if you're doing fantastic on your merchandise sales, let me know what you're doing. Seriously, I would love it. So to me, it's just kind of like when people need it, they need it. If they don't, they don't. Can't really talk them into it, but having it available when they do need it and want it, which is when they move in, that's going to be obviously the best time to be selling that stuff. It's there. Okay. And then I just put on here as well truck rental. Again, this is another thing that some people have great success with it, and other people system doesn't want to quite fit in the market. I love truck rentals actually. If I can do like a free rental upon move in, that's just one more added special that I can cost me $35, for to rent a U-Haul for the day kind of a thing. I'll give that to the customer, rent it, and then hey, it's just an added benefit that I can get that customer if I'm in a really competitive market of I'll give you free use of the truck for the day to move you in. Cool. I'll do that all day long. So having that kind of a situation is fantastic. On the move, has them whether you brand your own truck and then you're paying for the rental of that truck. Do that as well. Other people just flat out buy their truck and fantastic, and then rent it out that way. It's just something to be thinking about. It's another service that it's a great way to stand out from your competition. Great value add if you can have the means to be able to do this. So just touching on that very lightly, but it's something great to think about if you can do that. They want to focus more on tenant insurance, quite frankly. You'll get more bang for your buck as far as bringing in revenue from that. And again, that, I don't know, peace of mind, it's priceless, so yeah, got to do it. Moving on here real quick. Okay. Lien schedule. I know someone had a question about liens. We'd love to get in that today if you want to, or I'll answer questions afterward. We get it tomorrow. Liens are very important, obviously. We wish everybody would, when they actually are taking the trouble to move all their stuff into our facility, they're actually going to pay on their unit. Doesn't happen. It's just part of the business of having to sell people stuff. And I hate it, quite frankly, I do. It's about being efficient and doing it right. In fact, I'm so passionate about this. Years ago, back in the store wars days, I actually ran my own auction company here in Utah, and I did all the auctions for all the extra spaces, all the U-Hauls. I don't know, about 30 something more mom and pop places. So that's what I did on basically every Friday. It was me and had a crew, and on Friday we would cut locks and process, and the next Friday we would have an auction, and we would just do that process every Friday, for the sites. And decent money, was great, just a lot of work. But the reason I did that, the reason I brought it up is this: I saw so many people that were just not doing it correctly, quite frankly, leaving themselves a big legal hole that was just holding, being very liable for not doing things correctly. And quite frankly, just not being very efficient in their timing of it. I had one local guy here, I won't name him, but oh my gosh, he would call. He still does. In fact, last time I called, I can't help you, because probably 5 years in a row now, they'll call once a year. I'm like, yep, time for an auction. I'm like, what? You haven't done one since last time I helped you out like a year ago? Like, nope. And I'll go out there. I'm like, fine. I make them pay a premium. I'll go and help them process everything and get everything, inventoried, and it never fails. He'll have like 40. I think the most I did was like 55 units at one time at this, and it's not that big of a site, um, that we had to cut and process. And it's amazing, about 10% of those were just vacant. You get people that move out and it's just sheer habit. They'll put a lock back on and leave. You don't know that they're gone. You didn't even walk through and lock checks. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's rented. Well, if you're not doing your lien processing correctly, and when it comes time to be able to cut that lock off and roll the unit up and see what you're dealing with and realize it's an empty unit that you could move out now and re-rent that sucker. Otherwise, it's just sitting there and it's just eating up your cash and you don't know because you're not being efficient on your lien schedules. So put on down here. First off and foremost, go down to these, look up for the SSA, Self-Storage Association, state lien laws, look those up. I think I have it here for you. Yep. Selfstorage.org. Okay. Just look over their product library here. See right there. You're going to have all your liens. Download the lien laws. It's all right there. Look at it. Follow it. It's there in black and white on what to do correctly. A lot of other times they will have, we got that. I'll take this off here. A lot of times they will have these. Let me bring this one up. Come on. Okay. Under the Self-Storage Association books and webinars. Okay, products and services. Man, they're because your website's a little funky sometimes. Products and services, online store. Okay, sorry, online store. Okay, got your books and webinars. They're going to have these kind of things like this: the Arizona Self-Storage Lien Law Annotated. Not all states are represented. See if your state's on there. But it's fantastic that they will have the lien laws, which sometimes is like legal. It's over my head sometimes too. That this will say, here's a lien statute. Here's what it means in layman's terms. Okay, and we'll break it out that way. And they'll have a nice little checklist for you that you follow. It's fantastic. So get educated on that stuff. There's also like these kind of companies like Late to Lien. Love these guys too, Jeff Greenberg's company. Basically, you just call them and say, hey, you handle my liens for me. And they will. Okay, they'll plug in your storage software. They'll make sure the notices go out correctly. They will make sure newspaper ad, which is still required in most states, it's stupid, is done correctly. They'll make sure everything is done for you to the letter of the law. And it's a small fee, but again, it's kind of that peace of mind knowing everything's done correctly. I'll do this all day long with these guys. So for that, then of course it comes down to, hey, am I doing live auctions, online auctions, that kind of stuff? There's a ton of them out there. You can kind of do some research there for you. Quite frankly, when it comes to those, not this sharing here. For liens, know the laws are in your states. Follow it to a T. And personally, I use the online auctions. Again, I used to do, the back here. Let's look it up. I'll show you real quick. Why not? You can laugh at my. Let's see here. You can laugh at my commercial real quick. I'll be fast. Let's see if it shows up. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see, Excel. Yep, there it is. Anyway, I did, like I said, did the live auctions. You know, this is good music, right?
Yeah, I've been following him for at least 5 or 6 years.
Is there a reason that you follow his documents?
Yeah, I never worry about. I don't believe that he's ever gone in the unit. I know that he's just in my book. He's above reproaches as far as that's concerned. I'm not saying that just because he's my friend and I like him. I'm saying that because I believe it.
Jim's auctions have the reputation of being honest auctions.
How many of Jim's documents have you got?
About 20 years worth.
His are definitely better. You can. He's organized with his paperwork.
360, 390, 410, 425, 450.
Anyway, you get it. Basically, I did the live auction. You know, and my gosh, I did it for a living, for part of my income. And when I started doing online auctions and testing those out, that's when I was like, nah, I'm done. I got rid of my company and I pushed all my sites and my clients to online, quite frankly, because it's just so much easier. I think it's less chaos when people are going to a location, and it just makes a manager. It's crazy dealing with that many people and that much traffic, and it's just all the cash at once that are just coming in. It's kind of nutty. I'd like online auctions. 2 reasons. Number one is it's a whole hell of a lot easier to deal with day of the auction. Okay, you're not dealing with all that chaos and people there at the site. Number two, and probably more importantly, is it helps be more efficient and have more of a schedule in your auctions. Well, let me explain. Like for live auctions, it's so much easier to justify. I'm gonna wait till I hit 8, 9, 10 units that are going into auction. That will justify better to have more people show up and do the auction. No one's gonna come if I only have 2 units listed. No one's gonna bother coming to a live auction for that. So I'll wait till I have at least 9, 10 units, and I'll have a live auction. Well, now you've had how many units that are 90, 120 days, even more late, just because you were waiting to build that amount of units up. Okay, not very efficient. You're just blowing, you're lighting money on fire. You're not gonna get that money back, because we all know once unit goes to auction, man, you never hardly ever make your money back on what's owed. You just don't. It's not, and that's not the point, honestly. The point is just to get that stuff out and to have that unit available again to re-rent, okay, and bring that revenue back in, get it back in the system, get it back in the supply. That's the whole point. Don't go into this thinking I'm going to make money at my auction. No, it doesn't happen. So with an online auction, it doesn't matter if I'm going to list 1 unit or 2 units, that kind of thing. Whatever meets those parameters at that time. Okay, it's this time of the month. It's time to cut blocks. Well, who's 31 days late, or whatever your lien statute is, how many days late that they haven't paid, that I can actually now cut the lock and process and see if, hey, it's even full of stuff in there first, and then inventory it, and then set an auction date. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you have only 1 or 2 units, because it's online. No one has to worry about driving to your site and taking time out of their day, and so you can be much more efficient on. Doesn't matter if you have 1 or 2 units scheduled for the auction, or you have 5 or 6 or 7 or more than that meet those parameters when it's time to cut locks and set it up for an auction date. It helps streamline the entire process. So for that fact alone, that's why I just go online and do the live online auctions versus the live auctions. So it's more efficient. So you might have your own way you like doing it. Fantastic. That's just what I recommend. So it's going to make more money in the long run. Quite frankly, being able to get that unit out and then getting someone else back in, it's going to be pain. All right. And then I get asked, well, what's a healthy number? Generally, I live with 5%. 5% delinquencies is healthy. Okay, and that's not say it's healthy. I wish it was 0, but it's not really feasible. It's just not going to happen, because you're thinking people are using storage. They're moving. They got crap going on. It's hard. some time. And we do our best to make sure everyone at the movement process, like we talked about yesterday, was making that efficient. And the part of that is, hey, what card do you want to put this on for auto pay? Okay. Don't even like ask like it's even a question. Just flat out say, what card do you want to put this on for auto pay? Because the more we get on auto pay, the less hassle we have to deal with this kind of crap when it comes to dealing with liens. But again, it's still going to happen. So it's just the nature of the beast when it comes to storage. So if you're going to do it right. Please know what your liens process is. Know it backwards and forwards. Follow it to a T. If you need help with that, there's definitely some legal counsel out there in storage that will, got to pay them, but they'll go through and walk you through it. Just make sure you're on the right track for everything. Or like I said, late to lien, pay them and have them do it. Be done. So that's what I recommend. Let's go through real quick and see if there's any questions and comments. We'll kind of wrap this up here. Gonna miss today live. You're at the dentist, Amy. Fine, watch later. Okay, watch the stuff later, guys. I don't do this with the intention of everyone's gonna be live. No, the world does not ever revolve around me in these trainings. And I get that. We're all working, we're busy. That's why these sessions will be there for you to watch later on. Again, I'm gonna take this down on Wednesday, so let's get to it. But you can still watch it later on. So that's totally fine. All right, got it. We're all busy. Hopefully you're all written 20 units today. So let's wrap this one up. Okay, all right. Keep getting calls. Gonna wrap this one up tomorrow. Gonna be here live at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time again. We'll kind of do a little bit of a recap and then any Q&As, and then we'll call it a day. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Bye.